What is good, YouTube? I'm going to try and do this video relatively quickly. As most of you guys know, the Oscars are tomorrow, and I'm a pretty big movie fan. So I'm going to go through the several of the major categories, probably 10 or 11 of the major categories, and state who I think is going to win and who I personally think should win. Now, I've seen basically every movie in almost every single category except the all the animated films. I haven't seen all of them yet. I've only seen uh, Paranorman, and I think that's it actually. Let's see what the other ones are here. Uh, and a bunch of people told me Brave was a crappy movie, so I never saw it. But yeah, so I haven't seen all the animated films, and I haven't seen all the documentary shorts. But I have seen all the documentaries. I have seen all the best motion pictures. I've seen all the animated shorts, all the live action shorts, all that. So I'm going to go through and give my opinion on who I think will win and who should win. Now, for achievement in visual effects, who do I think will win? Life of Pi. Who do I think should win? Life of Pi. Best visuals of any movie I've seen since Avatar, and I saw it in 3D. It's amazing if you see it in 3D. I highly recommend seeing it in 3D if you get the chance. A couple of the more obscure categories: best live action short. Who do I think will win? I think Curfew will win, and that's basically a movie about an uncle who watches his niece for a day because his sister, I forget, she has to do something, work. I can't recall the specifics, but she's got to go to work, and he watches her daughter for the day. And basically, he's depressed and everything, and it kind of brightens his mood. The little girl adores him. It's a great movie, and it does have a good point. But I don't think it's the best out of all the options. I think the best movie out of all the short films was Assad. And this movie has several, I believe it's Somalian refugees in it, and they do the acting, first time actors, and it's just an amazing story. I think it could have been turned into a full length film, just epic. There were some other really good ones too. Henry, which is a pretty detailed look in, or kind of a first person perspective of Alzheimer's, I believe, or yeah, Alzheimer's, the guy, or dementia or something like that, where the guy was starting to lose his memory and he was having flashbacks of really good times and times when he was younger, and then he eventually loses it at the end, and it had me in it had me in tears. I'm not gonna lie. So I think Henry and Assad, and even the I believe it's the Busaki boys. That was another good one, but I thought Assad was number one, and it's basically about a guy who wants to be a fisherman, and I don't want to give the whole thing away because it's only a 15-minute movie, but really really good. If you get a chance, check it out. That's my pick on who should win. I think Curfew will win though. For best animated short films, I think Paperman will win, and I think Head Over Heels should win. Head Over Heels, its only downfall is it looks like the animators from Team America did the claymation. So it's really crappy claymation, but the story's really, really good. It's about an elderly couple who is living separate lives. One's living on the top floor, the other's living on the bottom, and they're living in separate directions. And it's a really, really well written story about how they try and flip it upside down so that they can both be living on the same page and essentially get their marriage back together. I thought it was really good. Now, Paperman, is another love story type animated short, and I think that the sound and the music in that was amazing, and it was probably the best uh, in terms of cartoon animation. I thought it was the best out of all the movies. Guacamole, which was nominated, is like a 2-minute film. It's the shortest film, and that has probably the best. I think it's stop motion animation where they take a ton of pictures and put it all together. And I thought overall that was probably the best visual effects. But I think Paperman will win. Um, Head Over Heels should win. Okay, now I'm going to move on to a few other categories here. Best Director, I think. Who do I think should win? It should have been Ben Affleck, but for some reason the Academy didn't even nominate him. It makes no sense considering he won every other award show for Best Director. But who do I think will win? Steven Spielberg. Who do I think should win? Ang Lee. I think Spielberg. Uh, I wouldn't be mad if he did. He's very well deserving of the nomination. In fact, one thing that I like telling people about the movie Lincoln was there's one scene where Lincoln is in his office and he's swinging a pocket watch, and the pocket watch, the way that they did it was that Spielberg actually went to the Lincoln Museum, and the stopwatch still works. The pocket watch still works to this day, and what he did was he asked if he could take a recorder and record the sound of the pocket watch. And he actually used that in the film when Lincoln's going like this. It is the sound from Lincoln's actual pocket watch. And not only that, but the lengths he went through looking at different books, all that. He is very well deserving. But why I think Ang Lee should win, not only are the visuals the best visuals I've seen since Avatar, like I stated, everybody I've talked to says in terms of adapting a book to a movie, that was a quote-unquote impossible book to do as a movie. But everybody that I know that's read the book and seen the movie said he did a phenomenal job. So that's why I think he should win. Let's go through a few the more obscure categories here. Best animated, everybody's talking about Wreck-It Ralph. I still really, really want to see it. I think it will and should win, even though I haven't seen it, just based on the trailers and considering that I've seen Paranorman and everybody I know that's seen Brave said it sucks. I'm going to go with Wreck-It Ralph for that category. For adapted screenplay, I'm going to go with probably Beast of the Southern Wild. Now, I think Lincoln will win because they used several 800, 900 page books to put that screenplay together, so they really condensed it well. I just didn't like the last 30 or 40 minutes of Lincoln, and I think it could have been written differently. Actually, it looks Life of Pi. Life of Pi would be another good choice, but I never read the book, so I don't know. Who do I think will win? Lincoln. Who do I think should win? Life of Pi or Beast of the Southern Wild. For original screenplay, I'm going to go with Django Unchained, is my personal opinion. Now, which one do I think will win? I would probably say Amour. Now, Amour, I thought the story was very well written, but Django, man, Tarantino, in my opinion, when he does movies with dialogue, he's one of the best in the business at doing that. I thought, for example, Reservoir Dogs, Inglourious Bastards, all those movies that he's done where he's used a lot of dialogue, I think he's one of the best at coming up with creative back and forth. So I'm going to go with Django as my personal pick. and I'm going to go with Amour is who I think will win. Best foreign language film, Amour is going to win that and should win. Um, Now let's get. Oh, actually, before I get started, I'm gonna do best documentaries too. I've seen all the documentaries. Who do I think should win? Searching for Sugar Man, hands down, all day. Who do I think will win? I'm pretty sure. I've got a good feeling that Searching for Sugar Man will win. It better win. It's an epic documentary. Now the other four are all a little bit more political. How to Survive a Plague is about the AIDS epidemic. Invisible War is about women being raped in the military. Uh, Five Broken Cameras is about a guy who's in basically a war zone who records everything, and it's basically just a compilation of all the footage that he's put together. And I forget what the Gatekeepers is about him. See if I can remember here. It is. Oh, okay, yeah. It's basically about. It interviews a lot of people that survived um, from it. The description on IMDb is it's a documentary featuring interviews with all surviving former heads of Shin Bet, the Israeli security agency whose activities and memberships are closely held state secrets. And I thought all the documentaries other than Searching for Sugar Man were good and informative, but if you are talking most entertaining film, by far Searching for Sugar Man. I thought it was one of the best films of the year, regardless of documentary or not. And I learned a lot watching the other movies, but I don't think that they were as good. Now let's get into the acting categories here. For performance by an actress in a supporting role, who do I think will win? Anne Hathaway. Everybody's been talking about Anne Hathaway, and I mean it's a fair choice, but she was only in the movie for like 15 minutes, so it's kind of lame in my opinion, and I didn't really like the movie overall. But who do I think should win? Amy Adams in The Master. Uh, this movie is not getting as much credit as it deserves because her character, she was kind of, if any of you guys have seen um, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, she plays a very similar character to Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, just a pretty evil character, and she does a phenomenal job. Uh, so I think she should win. Anne Hathaway will win though. Performance by actress in a leading role. Um, who do I think will win? Jennifer Lawrence. Who do I think should win? I initially thought I don't know how to pronounce her first name, so I'm just going to say Q Wallace from Beasts of the Southern Wild. I initially thought she should win, but then I saw Amour, and Emmanuel Riva hands down should win this award. One of the best acting performances I've seen in a long time. And the guy who played the husband in that movie was phenomenal too. I think he got snubbed from a nomination for performance by an actor in a leading role. He to me he was up there with Daniel Day-Lewis, but I'll get to that. I'll touch on that in a second. But who do I think should win? Emmanuel Riva, Amour. The movie is not for everybody. I'm telling you now, it is a slow movie. It involves old people, death, and it's not really enjoyable per se. But I personally like the movie a lot. I know a lot of people, it would not be their cup of tea. They would say it's boring, but I thought it was a really good movie. And her acting performance, like let's put it this way, my grandma, when she was dying, we had hospice or whatever, and she lived with us. And when she was dying, I remember everything vividly, like how I had to feed her, the sound she would make when she was sleeping, all that stuff. Like, it was very, very sad. And the performance that Emmanuel Riva does in this movie, man, it is spot on. Like, it reminded me exactly of when my grandma was dying. So I think, hands down, she should win. I think that Jennifer Lawrence has a lot of momentum going for her, though, and she probably will win. Now, performance by actor in a supporting role, who do I think will win? I think that it's going to be between Tommy Lee Jones and Robert De Niro, but I'm going to go with Tommy Lee Jones for who I think will win. Who do I think should win? Another very underlooked performance, Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master. He kills the role of Lancaster Dodd, and I thought it was very, very good. I thought him, Joaquin Phoenix, and Amy Adams all put on amazing performances. But Tommy Lee Jones, Robert De Niro would both be well deserving if they won. Even Christoph Waltz is. This category is the most open category, but in my personal opinion, straight acting, Philip Seymour Hoffman should win. I think Tommy Lee Jones will win. Now, performance by an actor in a leading role, I'm going to go with, who do you guys think? Daniel Day-Lewis. Who do I think should win? DDL. Who do I think will win? DDL. He brings Lincoln to life. I think he may be the best actor ever of all time. The guy is unreal. Now, I haven't seen much of his personality come out when he's just talking and acting like an everyday guy. He seems like a robot. But every role that he's played, the man is a beast. He is the best living actor, as many people say. So I think he should win. Now, looking at the other nominations, Hugh Jackman, I did not like. He can't sing. His performance gave me a headache. Denzel Washington in Flight, really good performance, but the movie sucked, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Joaquin Phoenix, amazing, amazing, amazing performance. And Bradley Cooper, best performance of his lifetime. I love Silver Lining Playbooks. But the difference between Bradley Cooper and Joaquin Phoenix is that Daniel Day-Lewis was doing a movie based on a character that we all knew. Joaquin Phoenix and Bradley Cooper were doing characters just out of the blue. And I think when you look at acting, it is far harder to play a character that everybody knows so well. And Daniel Day-Lewis did everything that nobody has ever done when it comes to Lincoln. The posture, amazing. His face literally looks like Lincoln's face. The whole look, he had it down. But not only that, he did the high-pitched southern twang. He basically was the embodiment of Lincoln. I thought I was watching Abraham Lincoln, not Daniel Day-Lewis. So that's why I think he should and will win for Best Actor. Now, Best Motion Picture of the Year, what do I think will win? Argo. It's a good movie, very clean, and it is his won basically every other award show. And I think, and they said it would be the first time and only the second time ever that a Best Picture won where the Best Director wasn't nominated. And again, Affleck was screwed on that one. But I thought it was a good movie, and I wouldn't be upset if it won. But what do I think should win? I've got two movies that I really, really like, but my favorite movie of the year was Beast of the Southern Wild. That's what I personally think should win. I also think Silver Lining Playbooks is another one that's right up there. But I'm personally would say Beast of the Southern Wild, story about a Katrina-type situation in Louisiana and the viewpoint of people living there at the time. I thought it was an amazing story, emotional story, and it is my personal favorite movie of the year. So that's what I think should win. And what do I think will win? Argo. It's won basically every other award show, and everybody's been talking about it. So those are my takes on who I think will and should win this year. Let me know your guys' opinions. Uh, I will definitely be watching the Oscars tomorrow. This is the first time I've really sat down and watched almost every movie nominated in all the different categories. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but that's just my take on it, guys. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinion, and let me know if you're watching tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.